For tutorial 3 in chapter 6, I'm going to start this object from the right plane. So I want to make sure that I click on right and then click on my sketch. Then I'm going to use the look at tool to look straight on at this sketch. The way that I'm going to do this one is I'm going to first come in here and draw my circle. So once this circle is in, I'm going to go ahead and give it a dimension of 60. And then we're going to zoom back out so that I can draw this thing somewhat proportionally. I'm going to go ahead and draw a line, making sure that it's set up tangent. We'll bring this line over here now, and we'll go straight up. These lines look a little bit crooked because of the fact that I'm not looking perfectly at the view. If I click on sketch view, then everything comes up. Now I know the top and bottom are both 25, so I'm going to allow that equal length constraint to exist. And then I'm just going to draw that back down. The thing that I really want to check is the fact that I have these two T's right here, which lets me know that everything is tangent. So I can come in here and change this dimension to 25, change the height offset for this to 45. The overall height on this object is 180. And this distance here is going to be 90. So once I have that, I can go to delete segment and I can get rid of all of the additional segments created by using the circle command. And then what I should be left with is a nice profile that I can use. And I see that I still have one weak dimension, so that lets me know that I have one more dimension to place, which is from the back edge to the center, which is 70. Now that I have no more weak dimensions and everything is shaded, I can go ahead and say OK, and I can now extrude this object. So we're going to go ahead and extrude. Since I have a symmetrical cutout in the front of this, I'm going to use a mid-plane extrusion so that the thickness goes in both directions, and this is going to be a total width of 86. After I finish this sketch, I'm going to go right back to that right plane and do another new sketch on that right plane. This time I'm going to project my front edge, this top slanted piece, and the bottom slanted piece. At this point, all I need to do is draw a vertical line, making sure that I get the V to show me that it is vertical. And then I can use delete segment to trim out the back sides of these lines. The dimension for this segment actually comes from the back face, and it is 50. So we'll go to normal dimension, and we'll click from here to the back face and change that to 50. At this point I can go ahead and accept that sketch, click on extrude. In this case I want to do another mid-plane extrusion, make sure that it is cutting, and I want the thickness of this cut to be 55. Once I have that, I click on the checkbox and I've got my cutout in the front. The next thing I need to do is place the hole that goes through this front piece. But since I don't have an axis, I'm just going to click over here in space somewhere and hit escape just to make sure I'm not in any commands whatsoever. And I'm going to click axis and then select any curved surface, and it will put that axis straight through where I need it to be. Now I can go to the hole command and I can select this face, hit control, and select that axis. That's going to line this hole up on this axis on this face. My depth is going to be through all, and my diameter is going to be 30. So once I have the parameters set, I can go ahead and click to accept that placement. Now for the hole that goes up here, I can either do a series of 2 holes, or I can simply do a counterbore hole, which is what I'm going to do in this case. So I'm going to click on hole, left click to select this face, click on placement, click here to add my offset references, gonna left click up here, hold control, left click over here, and now I have all of my dimensions located. So this is going to be half of 86, so I'm just going to type 86 divided by 2. The distance down from the top on this is going to be 42. Now that this is located, I can begin to set the parameters for the hole that I want to create. Now up here I have a predefined rectangle as the drill hole profile, or I can use a standard hole profile, which is what I want to do in this particular instance. So I'm going to click on this, and that's not really changing a whole lot up here, but it gives me an option right here now to add a counterbore. So I'm going to click to add a counterbore. Now I need to go to shape because I need to be able to see exactly what I'm working with. First of all, we're going to set this to go through all. I want the diameter of my counterbore to be 50. I want the depth of my counterbore to be 10. And the diameter of my hole is going to be 20. So once I set up all three of those parameters, I can hit the checkbox, and what that's going to give me is a completed model for tutorial 3 in chapter 6.